Bad news, fit to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Who gonna get on his ass real quick one time? 144, bitch.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that bitch, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about any part. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zach, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harvey. Try to hope it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking notes. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole part. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the coat and when you speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and outdone. Came through with them steps, niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch, like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole start. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. And I just made it call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put billions of my actions. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a door. Payback is a door. Payback is a door. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Mere fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we can all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a door. Payback is a door.
look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog.
It's a dog.
Payback is a dog.
It's a dog.
Payback is a dog. Payback is a
Yo, I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they ain't wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
America KKK, land of the good, smokers, home of the slaves. And I'm just trying to be great. Tell me, how can I live with this drama every day? I'm a light, I'm a beam in this darkness. It seems that real life is a nightmare. Can I live my dreams on this earth? Since I was young, I realized I had a destiny bigger than the fake shit that's disguised as what was best for me. Better than the hate and all the lies that be the death of me. As of late, since we've been hypnotized since elementary, thought it was my skin, but studied something that was new to me. They hate me because of what my ancient ancestors used to be. Killers, teachers, deities, not all of them were kings and queens. Our nature was natural, not supernatural. Now they call it magic and voodoo, that shit ain't practical. All the roots connected, always more to learn about, you know. Don't let the shit go over your head. Same snakes up in the garden, but the skin just shed. They'll always try to convince you that it's all in your head. Just know you gotta do better before you hit your bed. Stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they don't wanna see us win. Trying to kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin. Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin.
Yo.
Can I live?
They say my rhymes cause too much excitement, ride incitement, shit. Well, there's no indictments when my kinfolk get murdered by white men. Dark skin, light skin, divided and blinded. So we beef with each other, our brothers, rather than fight them. Fuck all that silence, it's time to get shit ignited. I ain't my way, low nigga. I ain't taking shit from no tars. And ain't no motherfucking nation got freedom from marching, begging for portions. Niggas ain't signing no parchments, big payback. You crackers got red in your margins. Why? They broke every treaty, slaughtered the buffalo, and then they set fire to teepees. They carved their face in mountains, but we go to jail for graffiti. We fought for this country, they gave us syphilis at Tuskegee. We been getting robbed, yeah, we're the ones who stay behind bars. They take all our money, but they ain't wanna give us no jobs. Wasn't supposed to make it, but we stayed defying the odds. It's like we really only living off the grace of our God. Can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? Yo, can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us swim. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
Shalom. It is that time of the week again. It's Friday night. We're here at the headquarters of the Isupk in Harlem, New York. Under Commanding General Yohana, we have been pushing this truth since 1969. Since 1969, we've been taking back our culture. We've been teaching that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the chosen people of God. That's right. And we're right here in Harlem teaching the ancient Hebrew, the Lashawan Qadash, because this is how we connect to our culture. This is how we get deeper into the scriptures and learn and grow in this truth. And today we're going to review a little bit of what we went into last week. If you tuned in last week, we went through the genealogies of Adam. We went over a lot of numbers because there were a lot of ages and a lot of repetition. And that's a beautiful way to learn a language, through repetition. And I stressed that it was an opportunity to learn a lot of these key words, to learn a lot of numbers, and we're going to continue and build on that as we go into Noah's Ark. We have reached the chapters where the Most High floods everything on the planet Earth except for Noah and his 3 sons and their wives and a whole bunch of animals. And so we're going to talk about that today. We're going to read from the Hebrew. And as I was taught, when I sat in these classes, taught by Ofshai Zahab, Ofshai Bajan, some of these excellent brothers, the intent is to tie this together with Saturday morning Sabbath service. We come in here, we learn the Hebrew on Friday, and we apply it when we read from these scriptures on Saturday mornings. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful opportunity. And so I hope the brothers and sisters out there have been working with us and building on this. Shalom to the brothers and sisters in the chat. Shalom to everybody tuning in. Bust out your Tanakhs, because we're going to get in deep. I hope everybody has the basic familiarity with the Hebrew alphabet. As I was saying last week, I know everybody loves the ancient script. It's what's ours. It's what feels more natural. It's what we connect with more. But the Assyrian script allows us to get into the scriptures and to read these ancient texts. And so it's imperative that we learn to read and write in this Assyrian script. And so I hope brothers and sisters are caught up on the alphabet, or at least familiar with the sounds that the letters make, so we can begin to build off that. If you could share the Hebrew sheet, Baba Bashar. Also, Yatazar is in here with me holding it down tonight. Give that a hand. Right. When the Hebrew sheet is that? Count out one count. And we're just going to run through this alphabet real quick. If anybody is out there watching and you're not quite caught up, take the opportunity. Take a few minutes. We'll be here when you get back. Take a few minutes, go over it. Write it down over and over. Say it out loud over and over. Let it sink in. Let it sink into your spirit. It's not as hard as it seems to learn these new scripts. It looks intimidating because the first time you look at it, it looks like, nothing you've ever seen before, nothing you can make any sense of. But a little practice and it becomes as easy and as natural as the English alphabet. You had to learn that once. And it wasn't that hard. Once you got it, you had it. And once you practice this a few times and you go over the Hebrew alphabet and you learn the sounds that these letters make.
Go over it because I can't make it bigger than this right here.
Okay. But let's take this opportunity. Let's use this right here. So we're going to turn to the whiteboard real quick to just go over this alphabet, run through it, and then we're going to dive in. Oh, Salaki, that's the ancient. I don't want to erase that because Officer Yatazar may be using that for another class soon. This brother is over Isupk Haiti and teaching brothers and sisters down in Haiti, reconnecting them with our culture. Give that a hand. There you go. Wow. This is a sheet that we distribute with the Hebrew script on it. And we're just gonna run through. Everybody should have one. If not, just Google the Hebrew alphabet and read along with us. We're gonna go through the sounds that these letters make real quick. It goes Aba, Gada, Hawa, Zacha, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha. And if you're looking and you see two versions of some of these letters, the bottom one is the one that comes at the end of the word. If the letter appears at the end of the word, that's the version of the letter that you'll use. But again, we hope that everybody that we hope that everybody that's that's watching has been studying that, because we're going to dive into the Tanakh. Everybody at home, everybody in the class should pull up, whether it's on your phone or in front of you, some version of the Tanakh so that you can follow along in the Hebrew script, and we're going to put it up on the screen as well. But first, we're going to do a review on some of the numbers that we went over last week. And if you could put the 1 through 10 back up, Baba Shah. These numbers come up so much in these early chapters of Genesis, whether it's talking about ages or numbering people.
I got the
Oh, there goes that Hebrew sheet. Everybody should go over that. If you don't have one, just let us know and we'll find a way to get you one. But that is the essential. You have to have that as a foundation, and it's not nearly as intimidating as it might seem if you're just if you're just starting out. So everybody get caught up on that alphabet. Again, if you're not, take a few minutes, go write it over and over, say the sounds out loud, and then come back and rejoin us. Come. And so here we have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And those numbers are the foundation of all the counting that you'll ever need to do in the Hebrew. If you know these numbers, as you'll learn, you can build on that. You can count anything. You can count to 1,000 and beyond with this foundation. So let's go over this real quick. Everybody in the room, Baba Bashar, repeat with me. Achad, Shanya, Shalash, Arabai, Kamash, Shasha, Shabbat, Shamanah, Dashai, Ishara. And this is the foundation of all counting that we're going to do in Hebrew, because our language is a language of blacks and Hispanics, and it's a language that's very, very loose. It's very fluid. It flows. It's poetic. It has style. It's not as overly complicated as some of the white man's languages. And so with that reminder, we're going to come back and forth to this over the night. We're going to go right into the scriptures. We're going to head to Genesis, the 6th chapter and the 10th verse. And we're going to start to read and point out some of the words that we're going to need that we're going to remember, and we're going to point out some of the words that we're going to see over and over. And we're going to start stringing together sentences, because I'm a big believer that when you dive in, you really get it. I'm a big believer in putting a lot on people, though it may seem intimidating. You know, brothers in here were reading whole verses last week and didn't know they could do it. So it absolutely works. You got more ability than you realize sometimes. So let's dive into this. Genesis, the 5th chapter and the 10th verse, which is Salaki, the 6th chapter and the 10th verse. Wayawalad nak, and that's a word that we saw 100 times last week. That some form of the word yalad, which is to beget. And we're going to keep stressing these words because as we do it week after week, it's going to become a party. Wayawalad nak. Nak is Noah's name in the Hebrew. Wayawalad nak shalasha baniim. 3 sons. Af. And that af is that untranslatable Hebrew thing that connects a verb to its subject. Baniim. Af sham, af chum, wa af yapath. So it's saying Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. In verse 11, Watashechaf ha'aratazah, which is a word we're going to see a million times throughout the scripture. Aratazah is the earth. Lapunya, which is a version of face, it's saying this in front of you. Punya is a word that's going to come up a lot. And everybody out there should be taking notes. Please take these notes in the Hebrew script. I'm trying to, what do they call that? Immersion, language immersion. You have to immerse yourself in a language to really get it. No matter what it is, you only really, really start to get it when you immerse yourself in it. So take these notes in the Hebrew script. You know, you might make a million mistakes, that's fine. It's going to clean itself up over time. Watashachaf ha'aratazah lapunya ha'alahayim. Everybody should know what that word is, right, brother? Power. Power. Watamala'ah ha'aratazah is that word earth again. Hamas, which is violence, which we're going to see a lot in here because the Lord was tired of the violence that the earth was filled with at the time of Noah. The Lord was getting tired of everything that he was seeing on the planet. And as we all know, he was getting ready to wipe it all out. So let's go into verse 12. So far, the key words that we're getting is Yalad, which is begat. We're going over these numbers again. We already covered Shalash. We've got Baniim, which we know is sons. We're covering names. We've got Aratazah coming up multiple times already. And Alahayim, everybody, by the time you've clicked on this link, you should know Alahayim. Verse 12. Wayara'ah Alahayim Af Ha'aratazah. So somebody tell me what's going on without looking at the English. What's going on in this verse so far? Thomas. Without looking at the English. Wayara'ah Alahayim Af Ha'aratazah.
Can't translate yet.
What's Alahayim?
Power.
What is Aratazah? It's that word that just came up twice in the last verse. That's earth.
You pointed out.
That would be.
Highlight.
Could you highlight that, Baba Bashar? It's right there. Ha-Aratazah. And we know that ha is the, a reminder that everything in the Hebrew is like you're building on the root word outward. So when you see ha at the beginning of the word, that's the. We're going to see wa at the beginning of a lot of words. That's how you say and. The possessives you'll see on the word, you'll see letters in the middle of a root word that change the tense. The Hebrew is builds on a root word outwards. And so keep that in mind because that's a good way to start to recognize a lot of words because you may see slight variations on it. You may see it with a ha at the beginning or a wa at the beginning, but you start to recognize these words. Wahana, which is to say, and behold.
Can you just go back on earth? Pronounce it ha-a-ra-tazah.
Absolutely.
How's the tazah sound at the end? It still says tazah even though it's at the end of the word?
Yes. Okay. The difference, of course, is the letter will look different at the end of the word, but it'll still sound the same. And that wahana, we use that word behold when we're breaking down the meaning of the ancient letters, because the letter ha is based on a hand gesturing, like behold, and it stands for hana. So that word wahana is saying, and behold, nashechatha, it was corrupt. The scripture in the English is, and the power looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. And so the Lord is getting tired of everything that he's seen on the planet at this point. So we're going to see a lot of words in here like violence and corrupt. Ashakayath, Kal, Bashar, Af, Darakwa, Al-Haratazah. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And in 13, Waya Amar. This is a word that you will see a million times, particularly through these first 5 books of the Bible, the Torah, because the Lord is speaking to these brothers. This is Waya Amar, Alahayim, and the Most High said. That Amar is to say. And the way that you put it together in this context is Waya Amar Alahayim, and the Most High said, La Nach, to Noah. That la at the beginning of the word is to. That's how you direct something to a person. So Waya Amar Alahayim La Nach. And the Most High said to Noah, Qadash. Can you highlight that, Baba Shah? Qadash, which is the end. Qadash Kal Bashar, the end of all flesh. There's a brother in the Philly school named Qadash Korab, the end of the sword. And that's another good thing that I want to stress. As you learn brothers' names, as you meet brothers in the school, learn what their names mean. That's the easiest way I can think of to build your vocabulary in the Hebrew. Because if you address that brother and you know what you're saying, I mean, you just built your vocabulary.
Waya Amar.
Waya. What's up?
Waya Amar means what?
Means and said.
And said.
Yeah, and then you would have the subject right after that, which is Alahayim. So it's and the Most High said. It's built off the root word Amar. Wa is and Ya is the possessive directive. So it's what, or the tense. So it's saying that the Most High is speaking to Noah. And he's saying the end of all flesh is come. The Lord has had it, it's done. La Punya, before me, called Mala'ah Ha'aratazah. We're recognizing that word Aratazah by now. Ha'aratazah, the earth. In the English, this scripture says, for the earth is filled with violence. Kaya Mala'ah Ha'aratazah Hamas, which is violence. Mapanyahum Wahananya Mashakayatham Af Ha'aratazah. That is, I will destroy them with the earth. Af Ha'aratazah. We're building our vocabulary through repetition, which, You got to go through things over and over and over. That's how they sink in. That's how you learned English, whether you realize it or not. By hearing something over and over and just instinctively understanding what that thing means without even thinking about it. So on to verse 14. Aisha, which is the root of my name, Aisha Ya'ala. Aisha means to make. It's the way that my name was told me was the work of the Lord. So the work of the Lord, like the thing that the Lord made. Aisha is to make. And this is the Lord talking to Noah, giving Noah instructions. He's saying, Aisha laka, for yourself, make to you. We say laka in the prayers. It's make for yourself Thabath, an ark. And let's focus on that word real quick, because that word, I don't think we really think about what an ark is. Like, we just kind of picture Noah sailing around the world on a ship. But this is not the word for ship. This word, Thabath, only occurs 28 times in the scriptures, as pretty much in this story for the most part. And we're going to see as we go through the instructions the Lord gave to Noah that it's not a typical ship. We're going to see as we go on. But keep that word in mind, the Bath. The Bath, Itazia of wood, which is based on Itazah, which is the same word for tree, is the same word for wood. If you're talking about wood, you're just talking about a chopped down tree. So that word, that root word, Itazah, is the word for tree or wood. And so the Lord is giving Noah instructions on how to build the ark at this point. And these are all good practical words to know and to build your vocabulary, and words that you're going to recognize as we continue through the scriptures. Kapar, Quinium, which is rooms. The Aisha is that word Aisha again. Remember, everything that we're going through is root words built on to include tenses and possessives and prepositions, but focus on those root words to start recognizing things as you go. The Aisha, he's telling Noah to make rooms. Af Hathaba, in the ark. So we're going to skip down to verse 15. We're going to go a couple of more verses and then we're going to review a little bit. So verse 15, Wazah, and this is Wazah Ashar, and this is how, Wazah Ashar the Aisha, and this is how you shall make Atha. So Wazah Ashar the Aisha Atha, and this is how you're going to make it. The Lord is laying it down. It's simple. Follow these instructions. Don't question them. Don't deviate from them. This is how you're going to make the ark. Shalash Ma'awaf. Now we're going back into these numbers that we went over so much last week. And if you were here last week, I hope you're starting to recognize these, because this is the beauty of repetition. Listen, it just sinks in. You just got to let it sink in. You just got to dive into this. You know, a lot of brothers and sisters out there are intimidated by this Hebrew, but you just got to dive in. Shalash Ma'awaf. Brother Thomas, you remember what that number is? Or can you read that number now with the foundation that we started building on?
Shalash is 3.
Shalash is 3. And what is that? That root word ma'ah. Ma'ah is 100. So that's what we're looking at.
Remember, it's plural. It's 300.
300. And now it's going to start going into measurements. A cubit is an ancient measurement. This is not a word that you'll ever, use practically, but to visualize it, it's about like the length of your forearm is a cubit. So it's like 300 cubits, a rock, which is talking about length. Hathabah, it's that word ark again. Kamashim. What is kamashim? 50. Because remember, to get numbers like 40, 50, 60, it's essentially just a pluralized form of 4, 5, and 6. So chamashim, chamash is 5, chamashim is 50. And that's what we're talking about at the beginning of the class when we said you can build on those numbers 1 through 10 to get the whole range of numbers. Yes.
Can you highlight cubit?
Cubit is a ma. And to continue, Rakabah is with Washalashim. What is Washalashim? That highlighted word right there on the screen, Washalashim.
Shalashim's 30.
Shalashim is 30. So what is the Y at the beginning? And. So we're saying and 30 amah cubits. Why shalashim? And again, shalash 3, shalashim is 30. It's simple. Our beautiful language is really a lot simpler than you might think. Go ahead.
Why do they always put the and with the actual word?
That's the way Hebrew is structured. It's a part of the word.
It's part of the word. And it's part of the actual word.
It's part of the word. Whether all the preposition things like and, but, to, the, all just become part of the word.
I know with the English, everything is separate.
Yeah.
The, him, he, everything is separate. Hebrew connects it. That's why you would see Officer Hazahab, when he directs us how to do it, how to read, you will have the preposition, you have the root word, the verb. It's like 3 or 4 steps that he goes to break down a word, because the Hebrew connects it.
And you're going to see we've been going through a lot of very basic words. So you're going to see as we start getting into some of these words can get real big. But as long as you keep your focus on identifying the root word, which you're going to start to recognize root words, you can figure out the rest. So that's 15, and we're talking about the ark. We're talking about measurements, numbers, and we're just running through this because it's a lot of repetition, but there's a lot of practicality in these words that we're going through in this chapter. As the Lord is directing Noah how to build the ark, he's telling him to build rooms, to build windows. He's going to tell him various types of animals to bring in. There's a lot of practical words, doors in the side and things of that nature, decks. This is very specific. And these are practical things that we could use in conversation today. And that's really the goal, is to speak this language more often. And it feels good to speak this. It feels good to get English off your tongue. It feels beautiful to let that ancient Hebrew roll off your tongue. You feel freer. Where are we at? Verse 16. Tazahar, which is a window. Tazahar Tha'aisha. The Lord saying, you're going to make a window, La Thabah, for the ark. Wa'al Amah, a cube, and to a cubit, and in a cubit, Takalana, Malama'ila, Wapathak. And Pathak is a door. So just in this verse already, we've got Tazahar, which is a window at the beginning. Pathak, which is a door. We're starting to get into things that we use and see every day. And so now, after we got warmed up a little bit, we're gonna review some numbers real quick, and then we're gonna get interactive. Gonna get interactive with the brothers in the room and see who's in the chat. Now let's review these numbers real quick. Here's 1 through 10. Achad, Shanya, Shalash, Arbai, Kamash, Shashar, Shabai, Shamanah, Deshai, and Ishra. And if you know this 1 through 10, you can recognize, and if you start to learn very simple rules, you can recognize whatever number comes up in the scriptures. It's that simple. Get this foundation down, and next week, we're going to take away the English letters. Think of those English letters as training wheels. And the idea, we want to get rid of those as fast as we can and just read straight from the Hebrew script. Let's go through this one more time. Chad, Shanya, Shalash, Arabai, Kamash, Shasha, Shabai, Shamanah, Deshai, and Ishra. And whoever's in the chat, no matter what your level is, you can follow along. You can get caught up. Please, nobody out there feel intimidated. I'm a big believer in diving in, and we're going to keep diving in. So, with that said, I'm going to let a brother in the room read some of these verses while we pause and break down some of these words. Some of these words that we keep going over. Let's go to, let's start at verse 17. Ready to read some of these verses, brother? Sure. All right. Start at verse 17.
Ya, za.
Verse 17? Oh, that's that's not part of the verse. That's the number.
What is the number pronounced? Yazah?
Well, that's an abbreviation. Those we haven't quite gotten that far yet, so ignore that for now.
Wa na ya.
Well, Anya, which is Anya is I. Anya is how you say I'm. It's that simple. Keep going.
Na ya.
Hananya, and behold, I. Keep going.
Ma ba ya a.
That's the Lord saying He's going to bring something. Keep going.
Ah.
Remember, that's that word that connects the subject and a verb. That ah. You're going to see that a million times. You'll never be able to translate it. It has no equivalent in English, but that's a word that connects the subject and its verb. Keep going.
Ha ma ba wa wala.
Hamaba wall. That's the flood. That's a word that that's flood. That's simple. Keep going.
Ma yam.
My yum. You recognize that word?
I do.
What is it?
It's water.
It is water. Brother's checking his notes. Brother's taking excellent notes, and that's what I hope everybody at home is doing as well. My yum is waters. That's another word we're going to see a million times. It's also the root word for a lot of other very common words. Off the top of your head, what is Shemayim? You remember? Does it sound familiar?
Sound like 80.
So like you said Shemai?
Shemayim.
Shemai? Oh wow. That's still listening to plural?
No, but I get why you said that. And that's dope. The word Shema is hear or listen. But that's the letter at the end of that is an I. This word right here, we're talking about a Sha, a Ma, a Ya, and a Ma. But that it's the word for heavens, and it's built off the word for waters, because think of the atmosphere, think of the water that's in the atmosphere. Shemayim is that Sha is a preposition that's like saying pertaining to, and that's the way the language works. It's that simple. As you recognize these words, you'll be able to. I mean, just like in English, as you were learning when you were little, you learned a lot through context. You figured a lot of things out, and you realized it wasn't as hard as you thought. Keep going, brother.
I lie.
I, which is it can have a lot of meanings, but here it means on. Keep going.
Ha-a-ra-taza.
Which is Ha'aratazah, the earth. So the Lord is talking about a flood He's gonna bring all the waters to cover the planet Earth. Keep reading, brother.
Lashawan.
That la shakaf, that la at the beginning of the word, remember, is to. So it's to destroy. Shakaf is destroy. Keep going.
Kala.
Call is all. We use that a lot. We use that a lot in the prayers. If you tune in tomorrow morning for the Sabbath service, you're going to hear that word in the prayers. You're going to hear that word all over the place. Call your woman is every day, but here it's all what? Keep going.
Bashar.
Bashar is flesh. So the Lord is going to destroy all flesh. Keep going.
Ashar. Ba. Wa.
All flesh which is in the earth. That ba is still a preposition right there. That's a 2-letter word, but ba is still a preposition. It's in the earth. That bawa and the wa is a possessive. So that's interesting because there's really no root word there. It's a preposition and a possessive. And an excellent example to learn how those work, because it's saying everything that is in it. That bawa is in it. Keep going.
The next slide. Are you ready? The next slide. Okay. Ra, wa, ra.
Rawah, which is your spirit, or in this context, breath. Keep going.
Kayayam.
Chayayim, which is that's that root word chaya, which is life. You're gonna see that we saw that 1,000 times last week, and we're gonna see it a whole lot throughout the scriptures. That's the word meaning life, and it's built off here to say everything that has the breath or the spirit of life in it. Keep going.
Ma, a, ka, a. Say that again. Ma, ka, a.
Think about it. Slow it down.
Ma, a. What's that second letter? It's confusing. ATH. Ma.
That second letter. What's the first letter?
Ma.
What's the second letter?
A.
No, that's a tha.
Ta. Oh, I'm sorry. Ta. Ta.
Say it again.
Matha. Kata.
Mathaka, which is to say from under. Keep going.
Kasha Maya.
Now, what is that?
Kasha Maya. That's a number.
We just talked about it a second ago. Mayam is waters. Shemayam is what? Mayam is waters. And Mayim now becomes a root word, Shemayim. And in this context here, we're talking about the Lord destroying all flesh that has the breath of life from under Shemayim. All flesh that exists under Shemayim.
And if I may real quick, right? And it's, you know, while you saying it, it's just, the language is so beautiful as it relates to the scriptures. Because when you go in Genesis, the first chapter, I forgot which verse, which you could connect it to, basically read down to Mayim and Shemayim, is the scripture where the Lord says, and the waters, I will separate the waters from above.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's just beautiful to see how the very word for Mayim, right, for water, right, which is another, you know, how would I say, another beautiful thing, because Mayim itself means of the sea. Mayim, water, means of water, of the sea. And then to see Shemayim, which is heaven, and then in the scriptures, it talks about the waters of above that the Most High separated. It's just, you know, it's a beautiful language.
Khan, that's a beautiful thing. And that's absolutely beautifully said. This language just builds on top of itself and it ties together and it just flows. Go ahead, brother.
Hashamayim.
Right.
Okay. And
So,
the exact word, what it means, Hashamayim.
Hashemayim is the heavens.
The heavens. Hashamayim.
And keep going, keep reading, brother.
Kala.
Call is all. Every time you see call, you're going to see it a whole lot. And in this context, it's because the Most High is going to destroy all the things that are under Shemayim, that are under the heavens. Keep going.
Ashar.
Bashar is flesh, so all flesh. Keep going. Oh, Salak, I was looking at, you said Ashar. Ashar is that, or which.
Ba-a-ratazah.
So based on everything we've gone over so far, what is Ba-a-ratazah? If we've covered, what is a ratazah? This is how we drill it in with repetition, and we're gonna make it count every time we read this word. Go ahead.
Is it under the earth?
It's in the earth.
In the earth?
Ba is in this context, it's in. Keep going.
You could see, real quick, right? So like, you could see how the oppressor will go and try to understand this language and go with the, what they call that in your science? Is it the Kabbalah?
Oh, the Kabbalah, yeah,
Like, it's a language that they just trying to break this language down because it's so much in it, you know. Even thinking about it while you say Ba-a-ratazah, right? Ba is tent, right? So what you do with a tent, you go inside of a tent, right? So even that, it's just so much to the language that you can see the oppressor is just trying to figure it out. Like he does everything. He's trying to figure out how does a shark bite.
Right.
He'll try to figure anything out in this language. He's so amazed with it. He's just trying to figure it out.
And that's a beautiful thing because it's so simple, and he struggles with it so much. And it just like when I first started to understand through General Muhammad's classes, the way that the scripture is written in slang, and the way that we use, when you go into the Hebrew, it becomes so clear that it's slang. Like some of these, you got oppressors spending their lives studying, trying to figure out to the day how something happened in 70 weeks. When you look at the Hebrew and it's just Shabbayim, and it's clear that it's just basically saying it's a mad long time. But he struggles with it so much because it's not for you. Go ahead, brother.
Oh man, I think it was something with Yatas was saying. Like they have you know, the History Channel, they have a whole show based on decoding the Bible. They try to dissect the language. It's like you're like a foreign trying to understand someone that it's not even, it's in your land. Yeah. You oppress every day. And we speak in his land, and he ain't getting it. Absolutely. He has a whole school about it.
They struggle and wrestle with this language, trying to decipher something that is not in their spirit, right, in their ruach to decipher. They can't get it. You can't get it, white man, because it's not for you. Go ahead, brother.
Ba is in.
Ba is in. Ba is a preposition that when you see it at the beginning of the word, it's saying in.
And ha is
the. And on that same note, what is la? If I pick this up, and there's no alcohol in this, but if I said la yasha'ala, what am I saying? To Israel. So what is la at the beginning of the word? To. And we're at the last word in this scripture. Go ahead and read that when you're ready, brother.
Ya, Ga, Wa, I.
Yahweh, and the Most High is saying that he is getting ready to delete everything on the planet Earth, with a couple of key exceptions that we're going to find out real quick. Let's go to verse 18. Let's keep going.
Wa, ha, kwa, ma, ha, ya.
Wahakomathia. And all of that is built on the root word of kawam. And kawam is to, which itself is a variation of kwam, which is rise. And so this whole word right here comes from kwam. But there are tenses, there are prepositions, and everything. And the whole thing is saying, but I will establish. That's that one word right there. But again, as you say it, you hear that Wahakwamafia. Wahakwamafia. And you start to recognize those key root words, you start to decipher things. Keep going.
Kwam is established.
Kwam is rise, but it can also, yes. If you think about it in the sense of you're rising up to establish something. It's a little. I hope that illustration works. But
even in the scriptures, I believe it's Isaiah. The Most High says, shake up the dust, rise up. What are we rising up for as a nation? We're rising up to establish our dominance on the earth.
Damn right.
So it's really context. A lot of times you don't want to struggle with the words because it's not saying rise as in the context of the sun rising. You got to look at the context and the metaphor in the language, because Hebrew is a very metaphorical language. It's a very poetic. It's like connected. As I'm saying, rise. When you rise, you establish your dominance, not just rising up as in, literally something, being raising up.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful explanation. Keep going, brother.
Ath.
Now, what is that ath? You recognize that by now, right?
That's the unpronounceable.
It's the not untranslatable.
Untranslatable.
There's no equivalent, and That's a beautiful thing, because this is a language that far predates English, and this is the language that feels natural on our tongues. Keep going, brother.
Ba, ra, ya, as, ya.
Bar-Yathka. Now that Bar-Yath is the covenant that the Most High is getting ready to break down to Noah. Keep going.
Asa, ka, asak.
Athka. Athka is with you. Keep going.
Wa, ba, a, sa.
Now this is off the root word bawa'ah, which is to come, and the Lord is telling Noah where he's gonna go. Keep going.
Allah,
Al, which is two. I'll keep going.
ha, as, ba.
Say that again.
Ha, as, asa, ba.
After ba. The ba is ark. So the Lord is saying you're gonna go into the ark. Keep going.
Asa,
Atha. We say that every day. What does that mean? Atha. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barak. Atha. You, because a thumb would be you all. So the Lord is talking to Noah. He's saying, you're going into the ark. Keep going.
wa, ba, na, ya, ka.
Wabanyaka. Now, that's a form of the word that you've probably never seen before, but can you decipher it? If you take away, remember what the wa is at the beginning. If you can identify the root word in the middle of that, wabanyaka. Can you find what do you think would be the root word in that?
Son is son.
Bun is son. So if it says, so now let's expand on that. You can identify that wa at the beginning of the word, right?
And son is
And do you know what the ka at the end of the word is? Or have you been over that yet? Have we really been over that yet? Let's talk about that. At the end of the word is where. Go ahead, bro.
Isn't it your the copy?
That is. That is a yor. That at the end of the word is where you put the possessives that identify what the word is being directed to. So here, bun is the root word, which is son. Wa is n. So wa bunyaka is and your sons. Keep going.
wa, asha, ta.
Wa ashafika. Ashaf. Does anybody know what asha is? Asha. With an a, asha, and a ha. Asha is woman. And the word for woman and the word for wife, there's no distinction between the two. And when you come into the Isupk, you learn that sex is a thing that establishes a marriage. When you lay down with a woman and she becomes your woman, she is your wife. The Bible doesn't have girlfriends and boyfriends and all this other. If you lay down with a woman, that's your woman. That's your wife. There's no distinction in the scriptures.
Friends with benefits.
Right. There's no friends with benefits in the scriptures.
Entanglement.
There's no entanglements in the scriptures. No F buddies in the scriptures.
Detanglement.
There's no There ain't gonna be no red table talks talking about August Alsina in the scriptures. None of this nonsense. When you lay down with a woman, that's your woman. That's your Asha. That's your wife. There was no distinction. There was no word, no special word for wife, because there's nothing else that she could be. Either she's your woman, or she's just a woman, or she's somebody else's woman. So, wa ashafika, which is and your wife. The Lord is telling Noah who he's bringing onto the ark. So he said, wa banyaka, and your sons, wa ashafka, and your wife. Remember that wa at the beginning is and, that ka at the end is the possessive that tells you who it's directed towards. Wa banyaka, wa ashafka, and your sons and your wife. Keep going, brother.
Wa nashaya.
Wanashia, and the wives. It's still off that same root word of asha, but it takes a different form here. Wanashia, and the wives. Keep going.
Vanayata. Your sons.
It's sons. What's that ka at the end? Your. That's your sons. Bunyaka. Keep going. Athka, which is saying take them with you. Athka is with you. Take all these people with you onto the ark. Let's go to verse 19. I'm going to give you a little bit of a break if you want to take a couple verses. All right, let's go to verse 19.
Let's see these eyes today, these pupils.
We are in here in Harlem at the headquarters of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and we're reading these scriptures straight from the Hebrew. And brothers in here are learning to read these scriptures, are challenging themselves to read these scriptures straight from the Hebrew. This is our culture.
Get that in here.
Wamakal. Yeah, I got an accent.
Keep going now. It's all good. And that's just saying end of. That wa is and, that ma is of. That's another preposition that we need to learn. Just saying of, wamakal, end of everything. Keep going.
Hakaya.
Hakaya. We keep talking about that word chaya, which is life. In this context, hakaya is every living thing. Keep going.
Makal
of all. Keep going.
Bashar,
which is flesh. So the Lord is saying right here, and of every living thing of all flesh, he's about to tell Noah, he's still telling Noah what he's bringing onto the ark. Keep going.
Shunyam.
Now we're back to the numbers that we went over so much last week. Who recognizes what Shunyam is?
Was that 8?
No, not 8. Count from 1.
I got it all back.
If you can, it's all right. Challenge yourself, push yourself. If 1 is a Akkad, what's 2? Akkad, Shanya. Let's go over these while they're up there on the screen real quick. Akkad, Shanya, Shalash, Arbai, Kamash, Shasha, Shabai, Shamana, Dashai, and Ishara. Anybody want to run through them real quick? Brother, go ahead.
Akkad, Shamya, Shasha. Wait. What did I say? Shalasha.
Shalash.
Arabia.
Say that again. Slow it down.
Arabia. Wait, Arabia.
Arabai.
Kamash.
Kamash.
Shasha.
Shasha.
Shabai.
Shabai.
Shamanya. Shamanha.
Shamana.
Shamana. The Shai.
The Shai.
Ishara.
Ishara. Brother Thomas.
Thomas. Akkad.
Achad.
Shanya.
Shanya.
Shalash.
Shalash.
Arabai.
Arabai.
Kamash.
Kamash.
Shasha.
Shasha.
Shabai.
Shabai.
Shamana.
Shamana.
The Shai.
The Shai.
Ishara.
Ishara. And an excellent way to learn numbers is not to think about translating them into 1 through 10. Put something in front of you and count them. Well, Akkad, Shanya, Shalash, Arabai, Kamash, Shasha, Shabai, Shamanah, the Shai, Ishara. Put things in front of you and count them. Go ahead, brother.
2 is Shanya. 12 is Shanyam Ishar.
Right.
So what's Shanyam by itself?
So right here, this is where the Lord is telling Noah to bring the animals by twos. He's bringing them on into pairs. So this is actually twos plural. So that's where we left off. You want to continue there, brother?
Yeah. Makal.
Which is up everything. Keep going.
Badia.
Yeah. Keep going.
Al. And Hathaba.
Al-Hathaba, which is to the ark. Hathaba, the ba being the ark. Keep going.
Laha. Ya.
Here's another excellent, if you could highlight that one word, Babu Kashat. Lahachayah. Can we identify the root word in this word? Anybody? Go ahead. No, the root word.
Oh.
The basic word that this whole thing is being built on. Do we see anything in there that we've been going over a lot? Look right in the middle of it and see if you can recognize something. Does anybody remember the word for life? As this brother checks his notes, I hope everybody at home is taking notes as well as this brother right here.
I didn't write it down. I know you said it.
Life. So it is life. That kaya right there is life. So if we expand that out, this whole thing is saying to keep them alive. He's taking the animals onto the ark by twos to keep them alive. Keep going. Remember, we don't have. We're not gonna know every different tense and every different form of every word. But as long as you can recognize root words, you can piece things together, and that's the beginning of really learning a language. Keep going. Athka, which is with you. Keep going.
Oh, so like it. What's the ka there? Like
where?
You mean up there?
The ka.
Oh,
Athka.
Okay. The Zakra.
Where you see it? Right here?
Right.
Slow it down.
The Zabra.
What's that first letter?
Sarah.
Almost. Slow it down, slow it down. What's that first letter?
You got the Hebrew.
You got it. That letter. We don't see that letter too often, so it might be slipping.
Zabra.
Car.
It's a car. Oh yeah.
Which in this context is male. Keep going.
One Ra 5.
Say that again.
One Ra.
Wa. What's that second letter?
Oh, Wana Ra Ba.
What's that third letter?
Third? Not a Ba.
No, that's you can get closer if you need.
Fourth letter is a Ba. What's the third letter?
I need to start gesturing this way. I keep forgetting because if I gesture this way, then on the screen it'll look like I'm pointing at the screen.
Oh. What do you mean?
Right? You pull up the screen real quick. I'm gonna show you real quick.
What are you saying before we go to the screen? You saying
if I point this way, it'll look like I'm pointing at the thing that's being shared on the screen.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See what I'm saying? Because over here I'm pointing this way, I'm pointing away from the thing.
I got you.
I got to start pointing this way.
Right. You confused.
As long as brothers in the class know I'm not losing my mind. But yeah, let's pull that back up. Oh, we got some comments. What do we got?
Comments, let's go up. We got the brothers saluting.
Shalom to everybody.
Blood said I have some off-topic question. Hoping you can help me out. Can I send them in? Anyone in the chat can answer as well. What is your opinion on people saying the world is flat with a dome, and how can we disprove that?
Well, we don't have opinions. The scriptures tell you the world is not flat. The scriptures tell you about the circuit of the sun going around the earth, and I don't know the scriptures off the top of my head.
I'll get the scripture.
What?
Salaki, I have a question. Do the men and women of Israel have to learn the language prior to Yahushua or Mashiach's return? I mean, we have the language, all right? The Most High blessed us with this language since 1969, so we don't need to wait. And this is what Yahushua did not tell us to wait. Yahushua told us to occupy. So in occupying, you know what we're gonna do? We are going to establish. Like we went over that word to rise, and as we rise, what are we doing? We are putting on our culture. We are going back to our language. We don't have to wait on Yahushua Mashiach to do that because he did not tell us to wait. He told us to occupy until he comes. So that is your answer, brother. This is why we are here in the Hebrew class every Saturday, every Friday that Officer Hazahab does, every Friday, so that we can get back to our language. Not waiting on Yahushua to come, but to get understanding and develop learning our language now.
Because why wouldn't we? The Lord has blessed us after all that time, after all the time and the punishments and the curses that we went through. The Lord's blessed us to have this knowledge, to have this right here in front of us, to have this Tanakh right here in front of us and the ability to read it. Why wouldn't we take that opportunity? It's like there's nothing to be gained from asking if we have to learn it before Yahushua comes, because why wouldn't we take the opportunity to learn it?
It's like asking, are we gonna learn to keep the commandments when Yahushua comes?
Oh, it's sister. Yeah, sister. Yeah, it's there's no reason that we wouldn't learn. So it's not even it's not a question that's worth asking, because like what's the alternative? If we think that we don't have to learn it, are we not going to? There's no, why wouldn't we? This is, the Lord has blessed us with the ability, with the opportunity to not only reconnect with our culture, but in the process to have more of an understanding and be able to break these scriptures down from so much more depth. I forget that scripture that talks about how everything is more powerful in the Hebrew tongue.
What is it? What is it?
There's the scripture that says that everything is more powerful in the Hebrew tongue.
Oh yeah, that's
in the Apocrypha.
That's in Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus says that.
The Lord bless us with this opportunity, so why wouldn't we? It's a beautiful thing, and I'm so glad that this brother right here said shalom, which is not how you greet somebody in the Hebrew class. Brother, you come into the Hebrew class and say shalom, that's 101. We got to start from the basics with you, brother. But for now, I'm just gonna it's shalom.
What? Stand by. Make sure you stay tuned.
Stay tuned, and we'll break down why it is not shalom. But I appreciate everybody that's in the chat tuning in, and we're gonna keep going. Where were we? We were in the middle of verse
2. Also, as I put Revelation 13, I'm not sure why he put that scripture, but it is definitely talking about our oppressors. And that scripture for the brother is Isaiah 40 and 22. He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth. All right, and this is also just real quick, right? This is not an argument that in the ISUPK we waste our time to debate. We will not debate flat earthers.
Right.
If right now in 2023, with everything that's going on in the globe, you are thinking about, is the earth flat? That is an argument for weed smokers. All right. Right now, we are getting back our culture because there's a people on the earth that has been claiming to be us, and the Most High is destroying them as we speak. We're not concerned if you think the earth is flat, if you think it's triangle. You know what? The earth is a triangle. Now what? Can we get back? Can we raise our people from the dead? Can we give our people back their language?
Right.
Keep going.
The water out of wine, and that's so heavy because it amazes me. I didn't know the extent of this until I got on Facebook, but it amazes me the things that people will make arguments and divisions about and focus their whole life on that do nothing. What if the earth was, just like you said, what if the earth was a triangle? Now what? We're here to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, bring our people together and serve the Most High. And it's such a stupid thing. You have to be smoking weed in your bedroom to be sitting there wanting to argue about whether or not, and I'm not accusing that brother. I don't remember how the brother phrased the question, whether he was just asking genuinely or not.
If I may, we're not saying the brother is smoking weed, but we said this is an argument for people who, it's a vain argument. This is the point. Not accusing the brother of smoking weed, but it's a vain argument, and it comes from people who smoke weed. It comes from people who gets high, and then now it hits the internet, and then you get under the influence. You may not be a weed smoker, but now you under the influence of a drug addict who's trying to figure out who's in his room getting high, like, you know what? I wonder if the earth is a triangle or if it's flat. Don't get influenced by the internet. All right, come into the ISUPK and make sure that your eye is single. All right, this is what Yahweh said in the New Testament. Keep going now, time check 8:40. All right.
Count. So let's run through a couple more verses real quick. If you wanted to pick up where we left off, and then we'll do a review. We'll go over some of the common words that we saw in here, and we will get ready for tomorrow morning Sabbath service. We're going to run through the 6th, 7th, and into the 8th chapter of Genesis, and we're going to get up to the point tomorrow where the earth is starting to dry after the flood. And so all these words that we're learning here are going to be put into use, and let's pick up where we left off. Oh, and shalom to Officer Hazahab, and we would love to know what the context for that scripture was.
Shalom, I don't want y'all about me.
Go ahead, brother. Right at the end of verse 19. So let's start at verse 20. Let's jump right into 20. Maha-iwa. And that iwa is concept. What? And that iwa is how you would say chicken. So we're gonna, the practicality of it. If you want to say chicken wings, or if you want to talk about, ask your brother to go to the store and get some chicken, that's a good word to remember. In here, the context here is fowl. These are fowls. They're going to be distinguished from other types of birds, and we're going to, distinguish them from other types of animals. Keep going, brother. And that is a long word saying after their kind. Keep going. We'll come back to that. Waman. And that word and that long word before it are both based off the same root word, which is mun, which is it's a kind of like a connecting word saying it can mean. I'm looking at the different ways it's translated. There's about 100 different ways it's translated. So it's one of those words you just got to learn the context as you continue in the Hebrew. Let's keep going for now. Habahama, which is it's the animals, the beasts of the earth, the cattle. It's all encompassed in this word habahama. Keep going.
Basically livestock.
Right, kind. Lamayana, which is another version of that long word we saw a second ago, which is saying after their kind. Keep going. Makal. Do we recognize that word yet?
Saibaju says it a lot when he responds. Like if I say Atatawab, like if I say Utawab, he'll say Kal Tawab.
All
which means everything is okay, everything is good. Kal Tawab.
That call is all, it's everything. And so Makal would be of every, keep going. Mash is creeping things. Keep going. We recognize something in that word. Adam. And what is Adam? What does Adam mean? Adam, where was Adam brought up from?
Metaphorically. I say metaphorically.
Metaphorically speaking, where was Adam brought up from?
Ground?
From the ground, and that's what the word means. So it's saying every creeping thing that goes on the ground. Keep going. Recognize anything in that? It's not going to be in your notes. It's the same long variation of the long words that we just went over. We haven't gone over this, but I'm checking to see if you're reckoning, because it's the third time it's come up in this verse. This is built off that word mun. This is just saying after its kind. It's when it says here in the English, every cattle after their kind, every creeping thing after his kind. Keep going.
Shana Yam.
What's that word right there?
Shanyam.
What is shani?
20.
No. So if it's not 20, what is it? Because we went over it a couple minutes ago. Twos. Because the Lord is telling Noah to bring these animals in by twos. He's telling them to bring them onto the ark in pairs. So shanium right here is literally twos. More than one two. Twos. He's telling them to bring them on in pairs. What's that next word? I explained that terribly, but y'all understand. You all understand out there. Keep going. You still in 20? Time. Right after shunning.
Call.
Call, what does that mean? Call is what? Call is every. Call is all. Call is every. So makal is of, every, and it's going to go on to say of every kind. Well, it's implied here, every kind. The Lord is just giving instructions of what Noah is going to bring onto this ark. Our time is winding down, and so we want to just go over some of these key words. If you could share that one slide with the new one, Baba Kashab. Or Siyata.
So like it?
Or if you could share that the new slide, Baba Kashab. Going to go over some of these.
This one, right?
Yeah, Khan. Some of the words that we've seen, some of them we didn't quite get to, but we're just going to go over some of these vocabulary words as we broaden our vocabulary through repetition and through going over these things in context and letting them sink into our spirit. Let's run down some of these words. Who's going to read them out loud? Go ahead. You want to come up?
I got a booty search.
You gotta go.
Oh, you got it. You going to read these out loud, brother? Yalad, which is beget, which we have read since between last week and this week. We must have read that word 150 times. Yalad is beget, is in the sense of you're having a child. Keep going. What's the next word? Kamas, which is violence, because the Lord sent his flood because he got tired of the relentless Kamas on the planet. The Lord got tired of all the Hamas, all the violence that was everywhere on the planet Earth in the days of Noah. And so he did what? What's that next word? Shechaf. Because the Lord got tired of so much Hamas on the planet, he sent a flood to Shechaf, to destroy everything. What's the next word? Pathak. So the Lord, in instructing Noah on how to build the ark, gave him specific instructions where to put one little window way up on top of this ark. He told him to put a pathak, a door, so that he could take all the animals in, take his 3 sons and their wives in through the pathak. And once that pathak was shut up, Noah was going to be on that ark with his one little window floating around for quite a long time. What's the next word? Barayah, which we're going to go over tomorrow morning in this Sabbath service. The Lord spoke of the covenant that he was making with Noah. The Barayah, the covenant, is going to be key in this whole story. What's that next word? IWAP, because I'm hungry right. I don't know about y'all, but I'm hungry right now. And IWAP is a way to say chicken. But in this context, the Lord told Noah to bring all the IWAP, all the fowls, as were distinguished from the birds, and the Lord gave specific instructions to bring all the animals onto the ark so that they could come off the ark and repopulate the earth. It's the next word right there. Tahawar, which we didn't get to. It's in a verse that we didn't get to, but it means pure or clean, because the Lord gave Noah instructions based on clean animals, which tells you so much. It tells you that Noah had the law. It tells you that Noah had understood a distinction between clean and unclean animals. And so that's a key word for us to understand what was going on all the way back to those times. What's the next word down there? Thabah, which is the word for ark, because again, this was not a ship. Noah was not sailing around the planet. The Lord gave Noah basically a huge box with one tiny little window up at the top. This was an ark that Noah was floating around the earth in until the Lord told him to come out. And what's the last word at the bottom? Itazah, which is tree, and it's also wood, because that's our language. If you're taking some wood, you're taking a tree. You're taking a tree that got chopped down and chopped into pieces. So the Lord told Noah to take Itazah, to take wood, or to take a tree and build this ark. And that is how we expand our vocabulary. And that's how we drill in this Hebrew that is so important in reclaiming our culture. Like, you can't, it still blows my mind that you have brothers out there calling themselves Israelites and teaching that the Hebrew doesn't matter, that we don't need to learn the Hebrew, that we shouldn't learn the Hebrew. That's wild to me. These ancient brothers, our forefathers, were sitting there writing these scriptures in these letters thousands of years ago. And we have the copies. We have the words they wrote in the language they wrote it in. And you don't think it's important or beneficial to learn the language that our forefathers spoke and wrote in when we can read it right in front of us? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make one bit of sense. So if somebody's telling you that and they're calling themselves an Israelite, that's probably the first sign you should get away from that person. But here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we're going to teach you how to read these scriptures. We're going to teach you how to speak the language as our ancestors spoke it, not in the bastardized tongue of our oppressors who got their hands on our language. We're going to teach this language as a way of reconnecting with our culture, of taking on something that wasn't given to us by our oppressors, of taking on a culture so that we can separate from this society out here, so that we can separate from the devil's society out here, so we can take back our culture and learn and be on a spiritual plane. This is essential. And every week, we are going to go deeper and deeper into these scriptures, deeper and deeper into this language. I hope brothers and sisters are out there taking notes. I hope that anybody who tuned in at the beginning or tuned in the middle and may have been a little shaky on your alphabet, did what I told you to do. Go practice it and come right back. Once you have a concept of the sounds of what you're looking at, once you can see the letter and know its sound, you can immerse yourself in this. You can immerse yourself and you can really start to put it together, and you'll be shocked how fast you start to learn. You'll be shocked and amazed, and it'll feel so good. You know how good it feels when you can sit here and pull this out and read and understand these words that were written by our ancestors thousands of years ago. These are the words they gave for us to read today, for us to learn how to serve the Lord. And the fact that it's preserved, we should be thanking the Most High every day that we have this in front of us preserved. We should be putting in all the effort that we can into learning this language and learning how to connect with our culture and learning how to take back our culture. And that's what we're going to do right here in this Lashawan Qadash class every week as we teach the holy tongue, the Lashawan Qadash.
That's right.
And with that, we're going to go over these numbers one more time real quick, because repetition is the key to learning a language. And because repetition is the key to learning a language, we are going to repeat. And so if brothers in the room would repeat with me, Akkad, Shunya, Shalash, Arabai, Kamash, Shashah, Shabbat, Shamanah, Zashai, Ishara. And let's take a look at the next slide so we can see how this 1 to 10 builds on itself. Or back to the. So we can see how these 1 through 10 numbers just build on themselves to allow us to count as high as you could want to count. Let's take a look at these. 20 is Isharyum, which is the pluralized version of the number 10. 30 is Shalashim, which is a pluralized 3. 40 is Arabayim, which is a pluralized 4, and so on. And when you realize that, you realize just how simple this language really is, and just how quickly you can really learn it if you apply yourself, if you tune into these classes, and if you keep it up. And absolutely, brother, and shout out to Officer HEADQUATERS up there in Buffalo, putting in work all the time. And shalom to everybody else in the chat. And these are our numbers. This is our language. Repetition is how you get it, and you'll be surprised how quickly you'll be reading these scriptures, and we can take away the training wheels of the English letters, and we can just dive into this. So I hope everybody out there tunes in tomorrow morning as we go through these chapters, the 6th, 7th, and 8th chapter of Genesis in the Hebrew at the Sabbath service. We're going to read all the way through the flood, all the way up to the point where the earth is starting to dry. We're going to break down and talk about why the Most High destroyed the earth and what Noah went through on that ark. We're going to send up prayers. We're going to connect with our culture. And we're going to drill in this Hebrew until we know it, we understand it, and it's a part of our spirit. And with that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Yatazar.
Most High Christ. Let's clap it up for the class. Most High Christ. Shout out to Isupk California, man. Right now. You know, Most High Christ. And shout out to Captain Tazoya. He just did an interview today and went straight to camp. You know, the brothers are out there putting that work in. We got the cookout coming this Sunday, right? The cookout in Isupk Cali is this Sunday. Make sure you go to isupk.com so you can contact the school. You can get the address and participate and go break bread with your brothers, man. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians are invited. With that, we are the Isupk, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only.
They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months period in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, verse 8 to 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation, which is Hanukkah, December. Do you have the date? It is in the month of December. Make sure you go to isupk.com. You can get the exact time for that. All right, and check the bulletin of your school. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. And if you want to be a sister in the school as well, you wear all black, but make sure you come to class with your head covered and speak to your camp leader. With that, men of Israel, Imajim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahshabrakatam, Yajam Mata. Class dismissed.
Shalom to everybody in chat. 9 o'clock sharp tomorrow morning, Sabbath service.
Damn right.
Which scripture that we on? Sorry, now?
Genesis 6 and 10, and we're going to go all the way through chapter 7 and into chapter 8.